Hey guys, welcome back to my channel Iqra Coaching and Guidance, and today we are going to discuss the second part of this series of chemical reactions and equations, that is chemical equations, balanced and unbalanced equations. And we will be discussing about the ways to balance the chemical equation, and on that we are going to solve the problems as well. So welcome to my channel Iqra Coaching and Guidance, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, then please do subscribe to my channel and don't forget to hit the bell icon in order to never miss an update. Okay, so I am your educator Amir, and let's delve into this chapter much deeper. Let's delve into this chapter. So first of all, we will be discussing about the meaning of chemical equation, like what chemical equation really is. So when I'm talking about the chemical equation, in the previous discussion we discussed about what is chemical reaction. So in the previous discussion we discussed that a chemical reaction is the one in which the reactants combine together to form the product. For example, like suppose these are the two reactants, reactant A and reactant B. These are combining together, so these are finally forming the product. So this product could be 1, could be 2, could be 3 or more. It depends upon the type of the reactants taken and the type of the products that and the type of the state of the reactants which we have. Okay, so these are the reactants, the things that we have taken for the reaction. These are known as the reactants, and the final product form is the product. So the way we are representing it, this whole is known as the chemical reaction, because the reactants are combining together to form the product. Now let's discuss about chemical equation. So when I'm talking about chemical equation, so chemical equation is the shorthand representation of a chemical reaction in terms of symbols and formula of different reactants and products. For example, like we know very well, there is a very famous equation that we discuss, like hydrogen, 2 moles of hydrogen plus 1 mole of oxygen, it gives rise to 2 moles of water. We have this equation with us. Now let us discuss this equation in a detailed way. Like for example, this is the chemical equation, because we have represented this whole chemical reaction in the form of symbols and formula. The symbol for hydrogen is H, the symbol for oxygen is O, and the symbol for water is H2O. So we have represented this whole reaction in the form of symbols and formula, which is known as the chemical equation. Okay, but there was another way to represent this, but that is really a complex task to represent the big equation in terms of words only. That is the reason why we represent the equation in terms of symbols and formulae, to save the space and to save the time as well. Okay, the another method to represent this equation was like hydrogen plus oxygen, and it will give rise to water. So look at this, how much time this equation is consuming, isn't it? It is consuming a hell lot of time, and apart from that it is also taking a lot of space as well. Okay, so instead of going this way, what I am going to do, I am going to go with this way. Alright, so this is called as the chemical equation. Now let's discuss about the types of chemical equation which we have. So very first equation is the balanced chemical equation, and another one is the unbalanced, or also known as skeletal chemical equation. So with the help of an example, I am going to tell you like what is the balanced chemical equation and what unbalanced chemical equation is. Okay, so balanced chemical equation, let me take a very famous example again, hydrogen and water. So we know very well that H2, hydrogen and water, what they do, they give rise to hydrogen and oxygen, they give rise to water. We know very well, this is a very famous equation, and this is the reason why I am taking this equation, because it will be easier for you to understand this concept, and for me it will also be easier to teach you this concept. Now let's discuss what are the balanced chemical equations and what are the unbalanced chemical equations. Now let us discuss about this. So when I'm talking about the balanced chemical equations, let's discuss about unbalanced first. Let us see, like, how many moles of hydrogen are there, how many atoms are there total. So here there are two atoms of hydrogen. Yes, hydrogen, we have the two atoms. First of all, we are taking the left hand side here. Then for the oxygen, we have the two atoms. Now let's go to the right hand side of the products. Now when I am going to the right hand side of the products, how many atoms of hydrogen I have? How many atoms of hydrogen I have? I have the two atoms of hydrogen. Yes or no? See, it is written here H2. This means that I have two atoms of hydrogen. You can see that hydrogen are two atoms. So two atoms of hydrogen are here as well. But look at this oxygen now here. So oxygen here, earlier it were two atoms. Yeah. Now these are only this is only one atom here. This is only one atom. You can see that this oxygen of the left hand side and this oxygen of the right hand side is unbalanced. Okay. So when any of the atom on any side of the equation of an element is unbalanced, that kind of chemical equation is known as the unbalanced chemical equation. Okay, I have already written the definition there. You can see I have written here. What is unbalanced chemical equation? The equation in which number of atoms and molecules are not balanced on both sides of the equation. As you can see, number of atoms of oxygen are not balanced here. At LHS these are two atoms, and at RHS this is only one atom. Okay, now let's talk about the balanced chemical equation. So balanced chemical equation is the one in which the number of atoms are balanced on both sides of the equation. So if this equation is not balanced, then what I am going to do, I am going to balance this equation. Okay, so we will be discussing this in the next upcoming heading, how to balance the chemical equation. Okay, so let's discuss about first what is a balanced chemical equation. So when I am taking this 2 moles of hydrogen and 1 mole of oxygen, then you can see here that this whole equation is now balanced. You can see very well. Let's take LHS here. So when I am taking LHS, left hand side of the equation of this chemical equation, what I am going to find? I am going to see that there are total hydrogen has total 4 atoms. Hydrogen has atoms. Hydrogen has total 4 atoms. Yes, 2 2s is 4. Multiply this 2 by this 2, it is equal to 4. And now let's discuss about this oxygen. So when I'm talking about this oxygen, this has 2 atoms. Yes. Now let's talk about this water. Let's come to the RHS. So when I'm talking about this, just look at this. How many atoms of hydrogen are here? 2 into 2 is 4. 4 atoms. Yeah, 4 atoms are here. Whereas oxygen, what about oxygen? Oxygen has 2 atoms. So you can see that this hydrogen and this hydrogen, both on LHS and RHS are balanced, and this oxygen and this oxygen, both on LHS and RHS are balanced. Okay, so this is it. I hope this balanced and unbalanced chemical equations are clear to you. Now let's discuss about balancing a chemical equation. So it's really very easy. First of all, what you have to do, suppose there is a question here. I am going to discuss a question first of all. Like I have the question, methane and oxygen combining together. This is the question given to me in book. Methane and oxygen combining to form carbon dioxide and water. Carbon dioxide and water. So this is the question which is given to me in the book. So now what I am going to do, how I am going to balance this equation? First of all, I am going to write the skeletal equation to balance the chemical equation at the last. So how I am going to write the skeletal equation? I will first see how many elements are combining and which products are forming, how many reactants are there and what are their names, and how many are the products and what are their names. Okay, so now let us do that. So the reactants which are combining are methane and oxygen. So let us talk about methane. The formula for methane is, chemical formula is CH4, and it is basically combining with oxygen. Okay, I'm just writing this. I don't know whether it is balanced or not. I'm going to balance it later. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to just put the arrow here and let us see what is forming here. It is forming carbon dioxide and water. Okay, now what I'm going to do, let us see whether the total elements on LHS and RHS are balanced or not. Total atoms on LHS and RHS are balanced or not. Okay, so now let us discuss about it. So we have carbon, we have hydrogen on LHS, and we have oxygen on LHS. The same elements are present on the RHS, CHO. Now let's discuss about how many atoms are there on this side. See, LHS, one atom is here on LHS of C. Okay, one atom of carbon is here on the LHS. Okay, now let's discuss about this. How many atoms are here total? One atom. Okay, now let's discuss about this one, hydrogen. So how many hydrogen are here? 4 atoms of hydrogen are here. So 4 atoms. And how many are here? 2 here. 2 atoms are here. So I'm going to write 2. Look at this. This is not balanced actually. Yeah. Now let us do one thing. Let us also write about oxygen. So first of all, I'm going to balance these two. Okay. So here there are 4 atoms and here we have only 2. So how I can make these 2 as 4? I'm going to multiply the RHS of hydrogen by 2. Okay, so I'm going to multiply this hydrogen by 2, so this oxygen will also get multiplied at the same time. So the total atoms will become 4, and now I have 2 oxygens. Yeah, so I am going to have 2 oxygen and 2 oxygen here. So instead of 2 atoms, it will now become, hydrogen will become 4 atoms. This means that hydrogen or both the sides have been balanced. Okay, now how many oxygens we have? So total we have 2 oxygen here, 2 atoms of oxygen we are having here, 2 atoms. Okay, and now what about this oxygen? What about this? How many atoms are here? So we have 2 atoms of oxygen here and 2 atoms of oxygen are here. So 2 plus 2 is 4 atoms. So look at this, these are also unbalanced. So what I can do to make this these oxygen atoms as 4 on the LHS, I am going to multiply this by 2, as you can see. So this will also become 4 atoms. So this is how I am going to balance the chemical equation. You can see very well that all the elements and their atoms have been balanced. Look here, 1 atom, carbon is also having 1 atom on the RHS and LHS. Here on the LHS we have 4 atoms of hydrogen, and here we are also having the 4 atoms of hydrogen which we have balanced later, and here we have the 4 atoms of oxygen, and here we are still having the 4 atoms of oxygen here. Okay, so which means that the number of atoms on both sides of the equation are balanced, and this makes it a balanced chemical equation. Hope this concept is clear to you, and this is it for today. I hope you have really liked this video, and so if you have liked this video, I request you all to please don't forget to subscribe my channel, and also don't forget to hit this bell icon which you are seeing. It is looking like a bell, so you just, what you have to do, just hit that bell icon and hit that in such a way that you never miss an update. Okay, so I request you all to hit the bell icon as well, apart from subscribing the channel. Okay, so do both the things, subscribe the channel and also hit the bell icon to never miss an update in the future. So best of luck for you, and don't forget to revise the chapter as well. Okay, thanks a lot, have a nice day.